Before we do anything else today, a quick required note. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal or tax advice and does not create an attorney-client relationship.
All right, so welcome to today's deep dive. If you used to look at a map of where NFL draft picks came from, it was like covered in pins from coast to coast.
Right. Yeah, the talent was just completely decentralized. You'd have guys popping up from Division Two, from, tiny programs all over the place.
But looking at the 2026 draft board, it's honestly like someone took a giant eraser to about 90% of the country. So our mission today is to look at a bunch of recent data from the NCAA and On3 just to figure out why the path to the pros has been so radically rewired.
Yeah, and the numbers are just staggering. Out of 257 picks, only 18 came from outside the Power Four.
Wait, only 18, so that's what, like 93% concentrated in just those massive conferences? Exactly, yeah. 93%. There was zero Division II picks and zero picks from HBCUs. But the really fascinating part is the hidden asterisk on those 18 non-Power 4 picks.
Right, because even those small school success stories are, tied to the transfer portal now.
Yeah, completely intertwined. Take the 4 FCS players drafted. That's the tier just below the massive FBS programs. You've got guys like Karon Prunty going to Wake Forest, Keyshawn James Newby to New Mexico, or Evan Beernson going to Northwestern.
Oh, so they didn't actually finish at the FCS level.
No, they didn't. They transferred up for their final seasons. And it's not just late-round guys either. Jordyn Tyson went number 8 overall to the Saints, but his stock only really exploded after he transferred up to Arizona State.
Well, and the veteran quarterback transfer pathway is basically its own pipeline now. Like Cam Ward going from FCS Incarnate Word all the way to Miami.
Right, exactly. Or Jayden Daniels transferring to LSU and winning a Heisman. 4 out of the 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round of 2024 were transfers.
So I have to ask, if I'm a coach at a group of 5 or an FCS school, why even bother recruiting high schoolers expecting to keep them for 4 years? It feels like they're just running a minor league farm system for the Power Four's Fortune 500 teams, Is traditional 4-year player development at a single small school officially dead?
Essentially, yes. It really is. And to understand how that happened, you have to follow the money. It's the house settlement.
Right. The recent legal agreement that lets schools pay players directly through revenue sharing.
Exactly. Schools can share up to $20.5 million with athletes now, and football commands roughly 63% of that rev share pool.
And here's where the math just, crushes the smaller schools. Group of 5 and FCS programs simply don't have the TV deals to hit that $20.5 million cap.
Spot on. They mathematically cannot compete with the Power 4 checkbooks. So the Power 4 schools are taking that capital and buying proven talent.
Buying the guys who already showed they can play?
Right. If a player puts amazing film on tape at a smaller program, they instantly get a transfer offer their original school just can't match financially.
Which leads to this insane financial inversion between college and the pros. The data shows top college quarterbacks now average $3.4 million annually.
Yeah. Brendan Sorsby at Texas Tech is expected to make around $5 million. Mark Cuban even fronted money for Indiana to land Fernando Mendoza.
Wait, but an average second-round NFL draft pick only makes $2.3 million. That means college actually pays better than the lower rounds of the NFL.
It does, and that creates a massive downstream effect on the draft itself. Because college pays more, prospects are staying in school much longer. The average 2025 quarterback was over 23 years old.
Oh, wow. So they just don't declare for the draft as early.
Right. So those older transferred Power 4 players are taking up the late-round developmental draft slots that historically went to the raw small school players.
So for fans who love that Cinderella small school underdog story in college football, that era is pretty much over. The sport you're watching has quietly adopted an NFL-style salary cap and free agency.
It has, which leaves us with a really provocative thought for you to mull over. If college programs are basically operating exactly like professional franchises now, literally buying up smaller market talent to win championships, how long until we see formal, negotiated player trades between universities?
Instead of just relying on the chaos of the transfer portal,
Wow.
trading a left tackle to a rival for 2 linebackers and some cap space, that is wild to think about.
It really is. The entire structural landscape has shifted.
Well, we are going to keep exploring this massive shift in part 2 of this deep dive series, From Walter Payton to Zero, where we'll unpack the total drought of HBCU draft picks. Until then, next time you look at that draft map, just remember, the pins aren't gone. They've just all been bought and moved to the exact same zip codes.